Souls RNG has revamped the Sandworm boss by quite a bit, giving it a completely new arena, which you can fight in with friends or by yourself, and with it comes a new potion, which can get you a 1 in 1,000 Sandworm aura, because it's basically an Oblivion potion by this. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best auras to fight this Sandworm with, showing you guys the moves of the Sandworm, fighting in a public server, and of course popping 26 Potions of the Dune. So we are now on my main account. We will be fighting on here because it has what is basically the best aura that you can use for PvP. And what's kind of funny is I actually soloed the Sandworm boss with just this aura. It took me like 50 minutes, which was pretty painful, but at least I got a lot of XP. And speaking of the season pass, as you can see, if you do a little bit of pay to winning, you can literally just get like so many of these for 900 Robux, which is just painful. But right before we do get into purchasing the premium pass and getting onto the Sandworm boss, I do want to ask you guys to please subscribe, because only like 10% of you guys are subscribed, and honestly it's quite sad because it would really help if you guys would subscribe so that you could help me make more content. And of course do giveaways, because I'm pretty down on Robux right now and I'll have like nothing left after I buy this premium pass. But anyway, here's the last winner of the giveaway from the last video, getting their game pass. Alright guys, I guess it's time to go on to the Sandworm boss. So first of all, I don't know why it says 25 here and it says 10 in the Robux shop. That might change, but let's just get to purchasing this thing. Oof, this just costs so much. Oh my god. Alright, let's just buy it. We now have it, which means that we can find out if it's 10 or 25. Let's claim it, and it was 25. Wow, that's crazy. I have 26 Potions of the Dune. We will be popping these throughout the video, so I guess my cutscene skip goes to like that much. But first of all, let's go over the best aura to fight the Sandworm, and keep up the team. Let's make it Sandstorm. Alright, my test dummy CommonCyber is now in the game, and yeah, he's gonna go through some suffering. But let's get on to these auras. So first of all, for all of the new gens, Cosmos is a pretty good aura, but there is a better version of it. So it uses a Claw of Galaxy attack, and it does quite a lot of AoE. And honestly, I should probably go over what makes a good aura for Sandworm. So first of all, you want an aura that has a pretty long range, and well, because of the fact that the Sandworm actually takes damage in its individual segments. Usually an aura that lunges or just really does a lot of abilities or has a lot of them is pretty good. But let's move on to the next aura that's pretty good. This one's good for a low cooldown. This is another step up, Cosmos Alice, the Atlantic Warrior. First of all, it has one ability which just like immediately lunges, which is really good for Sandworm, and it has vertical waves, which is also pretty good. It just did 20 damage, and now that's good because you can just spam these a lot. Now don't bother with Zeus, because this will only do 15 damage if you use it, and it's really bad. Same with Hades, because it might have a long duration, but it doesn't do that much damage, honestly. I guess it is an option, but probably not the best idea. Next aura that's pretty good is Celestial Divine. Now this is because it literally just extends a ring that actually does damage as it passes, which is literally perfect for the Sandworm boss. If you have this, use it. Sadly, that's all for the beginner aura that you can use. Chromatic Genesis. Now this does a lot of AoE, a quite big area, but it literally freezes you in place. It takes 20 years to do, and because the Sandworm really quickly moves, it's going to be difficult to use. Radiant, it only has 1 point of attack, so it's kind of bad. Impeached, while it has a lot of AoE, it has a long cooldown, and it only does like 30 damage, and it takes 50 years. Yeah, I wouldn't use this, even though you do get it for free for a time being. Now Archangel, what's different with this is that it literally does a big stream over here. Now the only issue is the cooldown's really long, but it has a really big area of effect, and it's just good. Sadly, the cooldown takes 50 years though. Bloodlust, it might do AoE, but you just slice, and that's basically all. You have to get pretty close to this one, so isn't that good. And Aegis, I'll put a clip of it on the screen because I don't have it on my main. It's pretty good because it basically just fires a massive laser. It's perfect if you line up really closely while the Sandworm is doing one of its phases on screen here. And yeah, it's good even though it has a long cooldown. Not to forget Luminosity, which, well, pretty obvious. It has so many abilities that do high amounts of damage. It's literally just OP. So let's move on to the limited auras. I don't even have all of these. Let's look at Blossom Frozen. So first of all, we have Below Zero, which is just a dash. I'm pretty sure this is more of a teleport, so it could be a little bit of a problem. I'd be able to test it better if I had multiple accounts. Absolute Zero, basically like the Hades ability, but you can move. Yes, it's okay, but I'd use other auras. If you have Blossom Frozen, you probably have another one that's coming up on the list that's way better. Now, CC aura, I mean, like less than 100 people can use it, but it has a really, really good cooldown that does 20 damage, but it has pretty small AoE, so not that good, honestly, for this kind of thing. Bioluminescent. Now, let's just use this immediately. Move my ult into it. It did a lot of 2.5 damage, but the only issue is that's pretty low and it stays in place, so it's not that good. Ink Paintball Gun. Its Ink Blaster ability literally just does this. It just does that. It's not that much. This just does a slash and R doesn't do anything. It's not that good. Now, Frigid, which you most likely got after Blossom Frozen ran out, is actually quite good. It fires 3 spikes with relatively good range. This aura I'd probably use, but there's another aura that's just really good. But before that, let's look over Eden, which is quite a classic. Now, this has an absolutely insane amount of abilities, but that only does like 1 damage. This does this does that. And the only issue is that a lot of these attacks do like literally no damage, which is quite bad, honestly. The best one I'd say would be Deadeye, which just insta kills, but the only issue is it just literally shoots like 1, and because of the fact that it doesn't do that much damage, and it's definitely set for another type of fight. It's not very good for Sandworm, as well as Sandworm being pretty laggy, so you can't really combo at all. And finally, the king or queen of Sandworm fighting, and that's Parasol. Now, just doing this 1 dash literally did no damage, but here's the thing: you could dash into the Sandworm, it just does insane amounts of damage. You could do 200 damage in 1 swing, and well, the cooldown expired really quickly. Now, there is going to be balancing on the Sandworm and on the PvP auras, especially the limited ones, but for now, just enjoy. So you know what, I think it's time to enjoy yourselves like 10 Potions of the Dune at once, which, wow, it's pretty lavish. We got Burrower's Gift. It's basically just a very primal light version of the Oblivion Potion, but 1 in 1000 is really difficult for this aura. So you know what, let's just get to rolling. So first of all, let's go to the quest board, because if you guys didn't know, this season pass got really nerfed. You literally need a 1 in 1 ability to even get stuff from rolling, which isn't happening in Limbo. And wow, for like 10,000 luck, gravitational isn't that bad, especially as this would be like a 1 in 30 million if I was using a heavenly. So speaking about the season pass, yeah, if King and Limbo will really suck. And of course, quest board's pretty OP. Completing your daily quest is probably the best thing you can do. Fishing, mech, and boss raid. Yeah, you get some XP from beating the boss and doing like 100% damage like I did when I soloed it. But Jake, give me some luck. Okay, Jake, you did not give me luck. Alright, let's just ignore Jake here and instead go to the leaderboard of the certain currency that allowed me to even get all of these potions. I actually did get one by beating it myself as well, but let's get on to the very top of the Robux leaderboards to maybe get some good luck. Okay, that's basically Overture if I pop the Heavenly Potion. Alright, okay game, you control me like that. Okay, next up, I get 100 million plus from one of these sand potions, which could have been a 1 billion plus. Alright, let's just go to my stats, which literally says rarest RNG 750 million. For some luck, maybe I'll just get the opposite and get something bad because I'm standing inside the leaderboard that shows how cooked I am. Nice one, game. Alright, whoever this guy is. Rig, wait a minute. I literally had no idea this guy had quests. Okay, that's genuinely sad. I never even knew this guy had quests. I'll do those off camera, but Rig, give me some luck. That's definitely not luck. I mean, it's a 10 million plus with heavenlies, but arcane's bad. I would have just gotten legacy instead. Now, can we just for once get this 1 in 1000 per pop thing, which I'll definitely not get because you can't roll in the boss arena. Okay, Fischl. Remind me to never speak to Fischl again. Okay, never mind. She just... Oh, yeah. I can't speak to Fischl. She's just selling me a scam Oblivion potion. Definitely will take that old potion for some reason. Alright, let's try and get some fire luck. Because here's the thing, guys. If you equip Manta, you can actually put out the fire in Stella's cave. That's actually crazy. But yeah, hopefully we get some... That's not luck. That's like a 1 in 100,000. Well, guess I have to deal with this cutscene now. Okay, now what? Alright, weird glowing firefly place look. Okay, never mind. That look doesn't exist. I think that's like Nautilus or something. Yeah, it was. Okay, wow, anti-cheat. That's very nice of you. I mean, more the game cheating against you than an anti-cheat, honestly. Alright, let's get some cave obby guy look. That's not cave obby guy look. That's like jazz. Not even orchestra or anything. Alright, let's get some altar look. We haven't used this in a while, probably for a good reason. Alright, let's tap into some of this stuff. We just got the same aura again. And it's even worse because there are so many auras in the 1 in 100,000 range. And we just get Jazz again. That is absolutely pathetic look. Alright, I think it's time to just show you guys how this Sandworm actually looks and then get into a public battle. So now, we've used the portal and we can now see ourselves in a new place. And here's the thing, you guys might want to know which one of these to choose. So here, there is the solo, which is really painful to do. It took me like 50 minutes to do this solo, and you have to do some pretty crazy stuff to even be able to do it. Now, 2 players. I haven't tested this, but it will add about 5,000 health onto the guy. Honestly, if your player also has Parasol, I think it's worth it. And now, this 3 players, it's kind of the same as doing it with 2 players. And 4 players, over there might just be the golden spot if you all have literally the best auras in the game, like Parasol. And right there, unless you guys want to waste your time, don't go to this, because it will literally take forever to beat the boss, because this literally makes the Sandworm have 100,000 HP. I'm not even joking. Well, let's go to a solo lobby really quickly. This reminds me of TDS a little bit, but I'll just show you guys what moves the boss does. So now, we are met with a new arena. And right here, you can actually select which auras to use. I'm gonna, of course, use Parasol, but for free, you could actually get Cosmos, Alice, and Peach, and Hades, which are pretty good, I'd say. Use Alice out of all of them. And I'm gonna use Parasol because it's probably the best one. Nope. And yeah, 10,000 HP, we have a Sandworm, or Crawler. And as you can see, that literally just did 200 damage by itself. And that crawl one, probably one of the easier ones to do. And that is genuinely one of the worst attacks that it can do. That does 30 damage and it's really difficult to avoid it, especially if it does it literally right beside you. There's the pylon, which literally just falls on you and doesn't even fall on you. It really just depends how far away you're from it. That's why you should probably do it with like 4 players or something. Oh, the conveyor belt movement one. That's probably one of the easier ones, but you guys should definitely manage your HP while doing this. Okay, that was just unfair. Yeah, honestly, if you're doing this solo, the word boss should only be able to snipe you from far away and not right beside you. Let me show you guys what method I use to solo this. And keep in mind, you only have 5 deaths, including resets when the PvP system breaks, until you just die and you have to start over again. Or spectate, I guess, if you're in a multiplayer. But what I did, when I did that really annoying snipe thing, which if it does close range you can't avoid, just keep on going up and down this. Maybe just stay at the top, and when it shoots it just drop down. That means that you could probably avoid the shot. But yeah, it could also do a multi-snipe, which you just gotta get lucky at that point, honestly. And honestly, that's literally okay. Yeah, that's just unfair. That should not be happening when you're doing this solo. And yeah, I'm kind of being stupid here. I'm not doing this correctly. I'm not really that locked in at the moment. But this is... I actually hate the sniping one so much. And sadly, most of the time, if you're just camping at one spot, you're not going to be able to even reach the Sandworm. Especially when it just bores into a wall or does the ability from like 50 miles away. And that one's a pretty big offender of this. Like, I literally can't get to that in time, which is probably why soloing isn't a good idea. For 10,000 health, adding on 5,000 every player, this is a pretty big nightmare. I'm not going to spend an hour trying to fight this thing, but I'll just show you guys what happens when you die 5 times. And also get some hits in, because why not? That was a lot of damage. So if you just reset, it just drops you down. You can see the Sandworm and you can see another stage where for some reason it just like takes in the entire arena, which is random, but I'm not going to wait half an hour for that to happen. So I'll just reset again. This is 3rd death that I can do. This is like 4th death I can do. And this is the last one. This will just completely eliminate me and you have to start over again, which is absolutely great. And the Sandworm didn't get the message. He's still here, but let's just return to the lobby and try to do this with a lot of people. And I'm just gonna go into like an out of 4 match or something, because that's probably the best one. But before you do that, let's pop an extra 8 of those Sandworm potions that we pop at the end of the boss fight again. Alright, so we've got our next 8 Potions of the Dune, and honestly, for how difficult these are to get, the amount of luck you get is a little bit low. It's more for the Sandworm aura that you're popping instead of the actual luck. I think it's time to get to the sea and try get some water luck, because water luck is definitely fake, because that did definitely not get me luck. That got me like Stormo or something. Nah, it gave me Comet. I haven't had that in a while. Alright, let's try and get some island luck and get onto this very suspicious island one. And let's see. Let's go onto his visor. I mean, peninsula or something, and roll. Okay, that's like Star Rider. Actually, I actually don't know. I haven't seen these in... Yeah, it was Star Rider. Let's pop our next one on that smaller island, which doesn't seem to be any game characters. Just like it's just an island. I'll try like sit on the bench or something, or stand on it and roll. Okay, that's like a 1 in 180,000 that I couldn't get without trying to pop for Atlas, which I still don't have fatal error for that. Seriously. Alright, let's get onto this rock, which has given us luck and literally gave me an exotic void. And try get some luck from this rock. Oh, that really stings. If you guys didn't know, you used to be able to get that aura from heavenly potions. A 1 in 200,000 was at the time. Permafrost breakthrough. Never again. Alright, I think we might as well pop on this random hump of land that nobody goes to on the mountain because there's no points. You can't even come here for luck because I think that's literally Diaboli Void. I haven't seen some of these cutscenes in absolutely forever. Genuine. We're not going in there because that place gives me no luck, but let's go right beside Lime because she's back on the bench with like no purpose. And not even the purpose of giving me luck as well, because that just gave me another Diaboli Void, which would have basically just been Cosmos or something random like that if it was a heavenly. Alright, let's go to the very top of the resonance to try and get ourselves this Sandworm aura, because I don't have an Oblivion yet. Okay, I'm not getting baited by that. That is not the Sandworm thing. It's something completely different. But you guys know that I have that false hope. This is false hope, isn't it? It's Divinous Angel. Very funny game. Alright, let's go to random bird tree. Try get some luck from it. You can't kick the tree anymore for some reason, but I guess this is good enough. Is bird luck real? No. That's comets. Or, yeah, it's just comets or Stormo. It's comets. I guess it's time to get into some random other server and try get some Parasol user to destroy the boss. Whoa. I think I found the crawler, or... I can't pronounce that, sorry. Well, I guess we're ready. We're ready with our crew of Sandworm people. And I guess it's time to try destroy this boss. Alright, let's go to the 4-player thing because we're not going to that out of 20. Let's do this, guys. Okay, for some reason, one disappeared. So we have these 2 people and me, of course. Alright, okay, that's a really weird number. But I guess it's time to try destroy this thing. Let's just disintegrate it. Now with multiple people, this will be a lot easier to do. Hopefully I don't die first because that'll be embarrassing. Okay, that reminds me of a minecart for some reason. But yeah, I'm starting to lose HP already, which is great to see. Okay, it just sniped us from like point blank and I'm already dead somehow. Okay, first one to die. That's nice to see. Alright, it's gonna do the weird pylon fall thing, which it actually did on me this time, luckily. And yeah, this thing already lost 2k HP, which is like really fast. Now, I'm pretty sure it did account for only one of the guys somehow disappearing for some reason. Alright, let's just heal up because I'm scared. Oh, yeah. If you guys can't see, that move is really laggy, and that's why you probably should not use Eden. Right, it's about to body slam us. Let's get some damage in. Yeah, Parasol is honestly the method. We've already done like 3k damage. It's doing the weird minecart thing, and I'm getting low on HP, so let's move a little bit. I'd recommend at least having 1/3 or 2/3 health with you because of the fact that one of the attacks was like 30 damage. And wow, it's not doing the annoying sniping thing that much at the moment. It's just doing the pillar one. That's very refreshing to see. Hopefully it doesn't do the snipe one more if you're soloing. And I should probably do damage now. Okay, I have like no HP again. And let's use the pillar method for a small bit. If I even need to use it here, I'll just camp at the top of the pillar while I heal. Drop down if it tries to snipe me. Okay, it did conveyor thingy. Oh, that really hurt. All right, let's just move through and try to destroy it. All right, it's just spamming abilities like crazy. This, you can tell the Sandworm is pretty mad, but yeah, people are starting to have doubts about this method because it is quite painful. It just insta-kill. I have never... Alright, I think I have like 2 or 3 more deaths to go until I'm cooked, but... Alright, let's just keep on going. I swear this thing does more damage than when I soloed it or something here. Wait, where is he? We've got a man down, but... We could always try again if we need to. Oh, no. We've lost a man. No. I'm soloing again. I don't think it's... I'm not even sure if it's worth trying to... What is happening? Oh my god. Wait, it just spawned the... Okay, that's absolutely crazy. Hey, it's trying to snipe the people that are already down. Nah, that's just cruel, honestly. And yup, easy dodge. That's why you use the pillar method. This is what you should do if you're soloing it. It would probably be a good idea to be careful as well. Be on the pillar even if you have multiple players. I guess when this comes out, you guys will see why it's OP. You can also, if it's doing minecart... Okay, why is that doing... You know what, guys? I'm going to show you guys what you should probably not do. And go into a random public server and just try to do this boss raid completely free range. Insane style. Alright, let's try do this now. Let's try destroy this thing. We have 12 out of 20, which isn't that bad, honestly. Let's just try do this thing. There we go. Let's get this done. Alright, I might actually want to change methods a small bit. Just for this, I'm not going to use Alice. I might, just for fun, let's see what people pick. Just use Archangel, because it is a less risky option than using Parasol. And it might be better if you guys don't want to immediately disintegrate if you get too close. Alright guys, it's time. 66,000 damage. I think the scaling's a little bit less than I thought. But let's just get 129. Okay, that does not usually happen. There is something wrong. 100 okay, never mind. I think Archangel is kind of OP here. What is even happening? Let's destroy it. Okay, you know what? I think this server is a lot better. We've got actually half players right now. I think this might be a bit of a breeze. All right, let's destroy this thing. It's still on cooldown. It's gonna be a bit easier to just stay alive here because of the fact there are so many people, so it won't just immediately target me. But you have to remember to be very careful when you use the ability. All right, as soon as it drops down, I'm just gonna use the ability. Big damage. We're already like 11k in. That is insane. Honestly, if you guys are gonna do this, it might be good to just hop a couple of servers if you can. You might get good ones with lots of Aegises and Archangels, but if you get one which is literally just people using beginner auras, I'm not even sure if it's a good idea to bother. But what's kind of annoying is that it's extremely laggy to even do this. But the weird 100 damage that it just randomly does, which basically never happens normally, pretty crazy. But the cooldown kind of lets it down, and the fact that it has to actually move in the first place. All right, that was some pretty big damage. But the good news is that because of the fact that now this is in a different place, don't have to hear this annoying music in servers anymore, which is actually so good. Not sure if I hit that, but honestly, Sandworm sent me to another dimension. All right, it's doing minecart thing. Let's just send it. Good damage. Okay, there's also a chance that even Aegis does more damage here. Every piece of damage is completely thrown out of the window and nothing makes sense anymore. Yeah, I'd really like to be a luminosity user now. Probably insanely OP. Okay, conveyor belt thing, that's some good damage laid down. Okay, yeah, Aegis method is genuinely real. Maybe in a future video I'll just hop on my ult and try to do this thing the right way. Okay, and here's the drop down thing that I didn't show you guys earlier. Now I think you just have to destroy the rocks. I'm not honestly sure. It just disappears by itself normally anyway, like that. Okay, now it's just stuck. Look at it, it just does that for some reason. It's just dying right now. It's actually just dying. Okay, now it's alive again. All right, sadly, I'm of course out of range to even hit it, but we'll see how much percent we do at the end of this. But surprisingly enough, now we're actually doing good damage to the boss. I could have gotten lucky with the actually good public server that we got, but usually I'd expect it to go really wrong and just be extremely difficult to do because, well, it's a public server. You could never even do this if you're just in normal AFK server. All right, it's conveyor belting. And it's taking so much damage. Alright, it's very close to just being gone for once. It's got 5k HP left. It's a lot better when I tried on a public server before soloing it. Because when I did that, it was a complete mess. It had 100k HP. There weren't as many good auras as we have here. But yeah, it's down to like 2k. We're about to get ourselves another potion. Okay, that should have been its end. Alright, next time it'll die. Let's go. I can't do damage to it. Okay, now it will be its end because everyone was on cooldown that time. Okay, now go. Alright, victory. Okay, now everything's appearing. So it took like 10 minutes. I didn't die a single time. People only died 8 times. I did 11% of the... Okay, that's not that bad because there are so many people. 16k XP? What? Okay, that's so much more XP than when I try to solo it. Alright guys, I genuinely had no idea that suddenly every single aura did like infinite levels of damage. But you know what guys, if you guys don't have luminosity, use Aegis. If you guys don't have Aegis, we just got this without buffs. Use Archangel. And I guess if you don't have any of those, use either Parasol or Cosmos Alice or Divine or something, honestly. But you guys really want to suffer like me and try solo this thing with only Parasol, you can. But I think it's time to pop an extra 9 Potions of the Dune. Maybe get that crazy Sandworm that guy had. It's actually crazy people already have this. Premium pass isn't helping a lot. Wow, I need to do this thing to just grind out a lot of XP, honestly. Even though I can't roll there, so it's actually really bad. I guess that's an off-camera thing, but... Now, where do we even get a look from? I guess we'll just get a look from this weird rock here. Change my mind. Let's get a look from these two suspiciously... I actually don't know what this is and why it's here. Let's just roll. That didn't get me luck. That just got me another jazz. I swear it's like the 4th or 5th one from these potions. Honestly, I expect this to be a complete failure. We've still got 7 more, which means that the random 1 in 1,000 chance, which is actually like 1 in, I'd say, 30 chance actually, because of the amount of potions I'm popping. This should just be possible, even though we're getting stuff like Warlock and not big Sandworm, so I can flex it on people. Even though it wouldn't even be a new best because it doesn't count as a collected stat. Hopefully now that I've said that, the game will give it to me. Alright, that's great. Deathlook is not real. Actually it is because I got iridescent, but that would have been like a 1 in 90 million if it was a heavily, but... Alright, Sandworm Portal Look. Hades. Breakthrough. Even better, which would have been like a Radiant Breakthrough if this was a... It's just... I should just be quiet now. Let's... Bob Look. Okay, never mind. Bob sucks. We've got 3 more to go. Alright, House Look. We just got Diaboli Void. Alright, we've got 2 more of these sand potions to get that's something that's like 1 in 1,000. Now with 2, it's only a 1 in 500 chance. Nothing that crazy. I get emeralds and aquamarines all the time. This should be very, very easy. Let's look again. Okay, yeah, Deathlook isn't real. I should stop doing that. Jade. Alright, so we have the final thing. So let's try get a Sandworm from SC and VR. Try increase our look. Let's pretend it didn't become hell from that and go to that portal. Try roll right as we go through the portal to try get some portal look. Maybe Gabe Newell can get me some look. No, he didn't. What a surprise. Alright. That's all the potions. Not very surprising that we didn't get a single thing. So, I can just turn on my auto roll. A second later, get a Diaboli Void. Completely turn off my cutscenes again. And I guess I can forget that this happens. Go back to Limbo and stay here forever. So, just as a quick summary, let's just go over everything again. Cosmos Alice is probably the best beginner aura that you can use for this. If you don't have any globals and somehow got Parasol, use it instead. If you've got a couple of low rarity globals, including Archangel, use this. If you have Aegis, which is really difficult to get, at least for me, use Aegis. And finally, if you have luminosity at 1 in a billion, definitely use that. Anyway, please like and subscribe if you guys want to conquer the boss, get yourself the Crawler Slayer title, and get yourselves the new Sandworm aura that I'm never getting in a billion lifetimes. And well, goodbye.